Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just concentrating on the filming.
Okay.
Yeah, can I just take your numbers, please? Are you filming me?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, you are now. Yeah,
with you and
okay. Yeah. Can I?
You can take the numbers, mate. 3406.
Thank you very much.
We've only come out.
Can I take your number, please?
3026, and I'm the sergeant, Scott Manning.
You're the sergeant. Okay, thank you very much. It's a social experiment that I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Explain exactly what that means.
Well, I don't have to explain. I mean, don't answer me like that. I mean, if we're going to have a conversation.
Can I ask you what your social experiment is then, please?
Okay. Well, there's been some abuse around people filming in public, and the police have abused powers. It's to see what sort of interaction I'm going to get by doing a legal activity. Yeah.
Okay. Do you not see, from the point of view of the police officers, that the vulnerability for us when we're coming in and out, and so not everyone's going to know who you are.
Fair enough.
And immediately that's going to maybe cause them some concern. Do you not think you have some sort of civil duty to try and sort of help the police to be able to feel a little bit more comfortable coming in and out of the police building?
Okay.
When the officer claims it's a vulnerability because not everyone knows who the auditor is, he reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of public space. The truth is, you don't have to identify yourself to the police simply for filming. There is no legal requirement for someone to provide personal details unless specific legal conditions are met, which clearly hadn't been here. Labeling a lawful observer as a vulnerability just because he's holding a camera shows how suspicion is being manufactured, not discovered. Then the officer doubles down by guilt-tripping the auditor, suggesting he has a civil duty to make police feel comfortable, but that flips policing on its head. It is not the public's job to adjust lawful behavior to ease officers' feelings. It's the officer's duty to respect public rights and uphold the law without...
But it's also a legal activity, so you've got to respect that I can do it.
At no point have I said that you can't.
No, I know you haven't,
so I asked you a
but that's the
question,
conversation, and it'll go round.
You refuse to answer that. You don't feel that you've got...
Do I have to answer it?
No.
Well, I've just given you my answer. I just said to you that because it's a legal activity and I can do it, from what you just said, negates it being a legal activity. If it was unlawful, then you can turn around and say, oh, do you know what, we're scared because you're doing something which isn't unlawful, you'd come and arrest me. But because it's legal, I can understand the concern. Don't get me wrong, I'm not being antagonistic, right, or anything like that. Yeah, of course I can understand the concern, but because it is legal, the concerns doesn't outweigh my right.
The UK rights to film in public are protected under common law in Article 10 of the Human Rights Act, which guarantees freedom of expression unless there's reasonable suspicion tied to an actual offense. No level of concern, no matter how genuine, can lawfully justify a detention or a demand for details. The sergeant's role isn't to act on instinct alone, it's to make decisions rooted in law, not emotion. The auditor shows more understanding and restraint than the officers, acknowledging their feelings while holding firm on principle. That's what makes this moment so important. He's not being difficult, he's drawing the line where the law draws it, and the sergeant's unwillingness to respect that line exposes the real issue here, a mindset where power is exercised based on comfort, not conduct. So they're
coming, you're talking to me, yeah? And that's what you're supposed to do. If you want to turn around and say, oh, we want to try to figure out what you're doing and stuff like that.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's just what I'm trying to say to you, yeah, then that's fine. And if that's the case, and you've figured out that I'm doing a legal activity, then that should be the end of the conversation, really. I mean, you can come, you can give your opinion, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but all I'm going to say to you is, I ain't doing nothing wrong.
I get that's what you're saying. We're just asking you why you're not doing anything wrong.
Because it says so, it's a law.
No, you've said you're doing a social experiment. We've said what sort of experiment you're doing. That's all we've asked you.
No,
there's a lot of things that are not legal. Listen a second. I could go home.
No, actually, I don't have to listen a second, but I'll let you carry on.
I thought you said we're having a conversation.
No, I'll let you carry on. Well, it's not a conversation with consent. You guys have come up to me to stop me filming legally, and then you're trying to say stuff to me. Okay, but now you're trying to put your opinion onto me, which isn't what...
You said we're having a conversation.
Yes.
Conversations go two ways.
I know you've explained this is a social experiment.
Yep.
We've got no way of actually...
The auditor has been open, clear, and calm about what he's doing. He's not hiding, he's not acting evasively, he's explaining himself while filming in public, which is entirely lawful. That explanation in itself should be the end of it. But instead, the sergeant shifts the burden onto the auditor, essentially saying, we don't believe you and we don't have to. That's not how it works in the UK. You don't need to prove your innocence to be left alone. It's the police who need reasonable suspicion to justify interference. What's worse is the implication that transparency still isn't enough. The auditor stated his purpose, not that he had to, and yet the officer clings to doubt. As justification for pushing further, it's a clear abuse of discretion and a sign of bias-driven policing where rights are ignored in favor of what-if scenarios.
Do that. Can I just ask you to look in my backpack, in the pocket, in the back pocket, yeah? And there's a bit of paper in there, yeah? It's a NCPP police advice in regards to Terrorism Act.
Okay, well,
yeah? No, I'm
so
just saying, it's got the Terrorism Act.
I've explained the reason
if you want to
behind
search me,
why.
that's fine.
If I've explained the reason behind why I'm going to search.
Well, I don't agree to it, but okay.
I've explained
what can I say?
how. Could I
ask you
just explain what I'm going to explain and you can talk to me after?
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
You're detained for the purpose of search, which means you can't leave at the moment. You're not under arrest.
Okay, yeah.
You can't leave until I've completed my search. When I've finished, I'll fill out a stop slip, which will have all the powers listed on it and the reasons behind why. Okay, do you understand all of that?
I believe it's an unlawful search.
Well, I didn't ask you what your opinion was. I'm asking you, do you understand all of that? No? Okay, fine. Okay, if I ask you to just take that.
Yeah, can I just put this on the floor then, please?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Despite the auditor calmly explaining his activity, imposing no threat, the sergeant detains him. Under the Terrorism Act, a power meant for genuine, evidence-based suspicion of terrorist activity, not for stopping someone with a camera conducting a peaceful social experiment. The justification is paper-thin, and the decision reeks of authoritarian overreach rather than lawful policing. But it's what the sergeant says next that truly exposes his mindset when the auditor rightly states, "I believe this is an unlawful search." The sergeant responds, "I didn't ask you what your opinion was." That's not just dismissive, it's outright contempt for the rights of the public it shows. He doesn't see the auditor as someone with rights and protections under the law, but as a problem to be dealt with. Detaining someone under such serious legislation without cause is a serious abuse of power, and in this case it didn't go unnoticed at the end. I'll show exactly how much Yarley was awarded for this unlawful detention.
Yeah, I don't agree with 5 officers having to search me, considering I'm doing a legal. There's a bike. Don't need to take a picture of these bikes. Do you know something? Actually, listen. 5 of you are standing here, so as far as I'm concerned, you've all searched me. Yeah, even though these guys, you were okay in the beginning, so I ain't got no issues against you. This guy here, he's there telling me that I didn't engage in the beginning, but obviously the video will show differently. Yeah, I'm not a boss man or anything like that. But I think that's quite disrespectful. Yeah, in saying that. Right? Yeah, I do want to stop form actually. And the thing about it is, yeah, you believe that you done illegal activity. I believe that it was an illegal search. I told you about the Section 43 memo and all that sort of thing. I've got it in my bag to show you. There's nothing that I've been doing. So
no one's suggesting that anything you've done is illegal, because if they did,
so all you're doing is trying to get information on me, which is
both talk at the same time, it'd be pointless.
Oh well then that's why I wasn't talking earlier on, because they didn't make 2 of us talking at the same time. Yeah, one person at a time.
What are you doing? You said a social experiment. We said, what's the nature of that? And you refused to engage with us.
Okay.
Anyone can say it's a social experiment. You need to give us a little bit more.
So if that's what you want to do, fine, do it to everybody if they want to feel.
When the officer says anyone can say it's a social experiment, you need to give us a little bit more. He reveals exactly how badly the power dynamic is being abused. The auditor already explained. What he was doing is social experiment involving filming in public. A perfectly legal activity. That explanation was clear. Calm and transparent at that point, the officers didn't need a little bit more. They needed reasonable suspicion, which they clearly didn't have. By demanding more, the officer essentially says, your legal activity isn't enough unless we're satisfied with it. That's not how the law works. There's no obligation for a member of the public to justify themselves beyond stating they're doing nothing unlawful. This officer's logic turns basic rights into privileges, rights that must be earned or explained. A way to avoid being detained. That's a dangerous
If you don't agree with our grounds, those are our grounds, and they're subjective. They're my grounds, okay? And I've explained them to you. If you want to challenge them, you can, but it's not about you filming. Filming was the reason we came over to speak to you.
Okay.
And then once we've gone into that reason behind why you're filming, this is why I've used those powers.
Okay. So you had credible information that I could be a terrorist.
How would I know?
Or was it just that you came out to
Credible
talk to me?
information?
No. Well, I'm just going to read something to you, which it says in regards.
What name would you like me to record?
In regards to suspicion.
What name would you like me
Right.
to record on this?
Yeah. What is reasonable suspicion? Yeah. The code explains that reasonable suspicion must be based on objective facts or information. It can never be based on the personal factors alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm quite happy with
have
that.
you got any objective facts?
Yeah.
What are they?
My objective fact is that you was filming outside a police station.
It's illegal.
which
It's illegal.
Which could be.
It's legal.
Not any point in here
It's
does it say that
legal.
you've got to be acting illegally.
No, but it's legal for me to film
you're
outside a police
absolutely
station. So why
right.
bother coming?
This moment is the turning point, and it's brilliant when the auditor pulls out the National Police Chiefs Council. Guidance on the use of the Terrorism Act. He doesn't just defend himself, he educates the very sergeant who detained him. The auditor calmly references the code, pointing out that reasonable suspicion must be based on objective facts or intelligence, not personal opinions, hunches, or someone simply filming in public. That's not a theory, it's straight from official police guidance. The look on the sergeant's face says it all. He knows he's been caught out not by rudeness or defiance, but by someone who knows the law better than the officers enforcing it. This isn't just about a search gone wrong, it's about a sergeant being shown in black and white that his decision to detain someone under counter-terror powers had no lawful foundation.
An argument which
Oh,
we're
I'm not
both
arguing.
never gonna
As
get
what you
into.
said earlier on, or this officer said, it's a conversation, and we've both got a conversation. So it's not an argument. Don't try to twist it, because he's already tried to twist stuff a little bit earlier on.
You're
Yep.
maybe trying to provoke us now.
Not at all. Not at all. So if that's the case, then
Well, what we're
I'd
doing-
advise you
what we're
guys to
doing-
go.
Well, once we finish, we will.
Okay, so I'm not trying to provoke you. I'll zip it, or shall you zip it? Which one?
I don't mind.
Yeah, zipping it.
Right, okay. So you're not going to give us your name? No. You're not going to tell us where you come from? You're not going to try and put the officers inside that building at rest? The person outside is fine, there's no issues with them. All we know is what we see in front of us now. Your civil duty to really help us to try and do the job a little bit better, to make us feel
That's all you wanted. If I would have agreed to that, you would have probably said, "All right, then no worries."
To make us feel
But
a little
because I
bit
didn't
more
agree to
reassured,
it,
you're not prepared to give
it
us
is
your
what it
name?
is.
He's already detained and searched the auditor under the Terrorism Act, found nothing, and yet here he is still fishing for personal details, asking again. You're not going to give us your name, you're not going to tell us where you came from. At this point, it's not about reasonable suspicion, it's about control and ego. The auditor has done more than enough. He calmly explained what he was doing, handed over the MPCC guidance proving his rights, and complied with an unlawful search without resistance. That should have ended it, but instead the sergeant doubles down, now trying to guilt-trip the auditor with talk of civil duty, as if refusing to make the officers feel comfortable is suspicious in itself. It's not the auditor doesn't owe comfort, he has rights, and he's already had them infringed.
You just said if you'd engaged with us from the beginning.
No, it's not engaging.
But you
You
wouldn't,
keep on
so-
saying about
so-
engaging.
So you got
It's
searched.
not engaging. The engagement is that I'm doing something legally, and I actually don't have to give all this information out. Yeah, but if I'm there and I'm acting all weird and stuff like that, that's different.
were.
No, because I didn't answer you. Because I
You
didn't.
gave us
Because
half
I
an
didn't.
answer and then you didn't give us
Yeah,
an
but that's-
answer. You
supposing
won't
that's
give us
how
your
I am.
name, you
Supposing
won't
that's
tell us
how
where
I
you come from.
converse.
We don't know who you are, so to
Okay.
say
All right,
ourselves
then.
and the rest
So
that
you're
you're
not
not.
going to give us your name, is that right?
Correct. I'm not.
No, you're not going to tell us any information about yourself.
Do I need
That
to?
would no, you don't.
Okay,
But
well then that's the end of
would
that's the
help
end of that
us
then.
As a
That's the
police
end of that
force
then.
to feel
That's the
very
end of that then.
reassured.
That's the end
so
of that
you
then.
don't want us to feel reassured.
That's the end of that then.
Okay. Okay, if that's your answer, you don't want us to feel reassured, then that's fine.
All right.
Right. I'm sure you've got what you come for. I'll maybe see you another time. Okay.
He's a tyrant. He is. You're a bully. I'm suing you. Because you're a bully and you're a tyrant, aren't you? I'm suing you guys because you're bullies and tyrants.
What Yardley came for was to expose poor policing, unlawful use of powers, and the casual erosion of rights, and the sergeant delivered it all on camera. And the proof, Yardley won his case and received an £800 payout just a few months ago for this very interaction. That's not opinion, that's legal recognition. That this stop was wrong from the start. Now let's break it down from the moment the sergeant An officer arrived. They operated on assumption, not evidence. Yardley explained clearly and calmly that he was filming for a social experiment. Instead of assessing the information properly, they chose to dig deeper, pressuring him for details he wasn't legally required to give, and dismissing his explanation as if it didn't matter. When he asserted his rights, they took it personally. And that's when professionalism gave way to power tripping. The most serious failing came when they detained and searched him under Section 43 of the Terrorism Act without a shred of objective evidence or intelligence to support it. Yardley posed no threat, had no suspicious items, and had already explained his lawful purpose, where still after the search turned up nothing. The sergeant kept pushing, demanding a name, asking where he came from, and even trying to guilt trip him with talk of civil duty. That's not how reasonable suspicion works. That's how rights get abused. Yardley held his ground, exposed their ignorance with official MPCC guidance, and made it crystal clear they had no lawful basis for their actions. And the final insult, the sergeant's smug comment as he walks away, only confirms how little accountability some officers feel when they're in the wrong. This episode is a sharp reminder that knowing your rights matters, because when officers forget the law, it's up to people like Yardley to hold them to it. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue with my independent coverage. Also, don't forget to check out Yardley Ski. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some love. Thanks for watching.